Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Tuesday, 9th day of August, 5th day of Av. Here we go. On the day of Tisha B'Av, it is prohibited. You're not supposed to be giving gifts. Jews just don't give gifts to each other on the day of Tisha B'Av. That brings happiness and camaraderie and all that, and that's just camaraderie is good, but not gift giving. That's not the kind of thing we should be involved in on the day of Tisha B'av. Now, don't overextend this where your Yetzer Hara would say, so there's a guy from Yerushalayim walking around your shul on the day of Tisha B'Av, and he's desperately trying to bring home some money to his family, and so he's sadly walking between all the people during Kinos trying to collect money, and you want to be extra frum and say, no gifts on Tisha B'Av. So that's not really treating that halacha properly. You and I know that when we say no gifts on Tisha B'Av, that's to your friend or neighbor who's doing fine, and you just felt like sending them flowers or a picture frame, so don't do that on Tisha B'Av. But a guy who's collecting money to help feed his family, my gosh, that would probably be that's for sure a beautiful thing to do on Tisha B'Av. So absolutely give that mishulach money. That's a poor person who needs your help. Jews should definitely be helping each other on the day of Tisha B'Av. Tisha B'Av day, if you feel like, oh, I'm bored, I need my mind distracted from the fast, I'm going to go take a little walk. Or let's just drive up to the park. I'm not going to play, but I just, we'll sit in the park and watch the ducks or something on Tisha B'Av afternoon. So that's not appropriate. Your mind should be, this is the one day a year when we focus on the greatest tragedy of all. We lost our temple. And for you to just want to be distracted by the ducks on that day. It's just, come on, think of what you're doing. That would be awful. So no diversions in general, and so you spend your day Tisha B'Av focused on what you should be focused on. This is just my own thought here. It of course does not say this in the Shulchan Aruch, but now that we're all in this age where everybody's, or many people have a smartphone and they're just addicted to it, and you just plop down on the couch late Tisha B'Av afternoon and say, well, let me just check what's going on in the Olympics, which your Yetzer Hara would so much want to do if you're addicted to your phone, and say, oh, I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm just like, it's 2 hours to go, my head hurts, I'm just lying here flicking around in my phone seeing that the US won 5 gold medals today. Doesn't seem all that bad, but again, you're diverting your mind from the main task at hand, which is you should be thinking about the Churban and how we could make this the last Tisha B'Av that we're without our Beis HaMikdash, and that's where your mind should be focused, and we should try to be just unhooked from our phones and distractions and everything that distracts us from the fast. Now you know that there are a couple of halachas that apply only the first half of Tisha B'Av day, like sitting on a chair. We don't sit on regular chairs from the beginning of Tisha B'Av until midday, somewhere around 1 o'clock. I don't want to say exactly 1 o'clock because it varies from city to city, but somewhere around a little after 1 in some East Coast cities, may be very different in your area, but whenever that middle of the day is, you can look it up on a good Jewish calendar. So that's when you can start sitting up in regular chairs. A low chair is considered a chair, any chair that's closer than 12 inches to the ground. So you can sit on anything that's less than 12 inches above the ground, even if it's comfortable. You can sit on a big cushion, pillow, chair thing, a low armchair, a low beach chair, a milk crate if it's low enough, as long as it's less than 1 foot off of the ground. We here at the NCSY office, of course, don't condone anybody smoking. But if there is a person hooked on cigarettes, then what he would have to do is, the rabbis go both ways on this, but most rabbis say, well, the way we are today, a person who has to smoke should try not to smoke until after midday, and he should try not to at least do it publicly. And so a person who's addicted to it would maybe, if he has to, have a cigarette after midday and in private. That would be the best way to deal with that. If at all possible, it's best if you don't go to work on Tisha B'Av because it's just distracting from the main task at hand. Most of your housework you should try to put off and not be straightening up all the house on the day of Tisha B'Av. If there's a business deal that's incredibly important and you'll lose a lot of money if you don't finalize it, if you got to finalize it, then it's okay, but best to move that to after midday if possible. And anybody who does a business deal that he didn't have to do and makes money or whatever, generally the rule that the Gemara says about that is that you won't see siman bracha, you won't see signs of any goodness coming out of the money that you make on Tisha B'Av. That's the general rule. See how it applies to you. If you must work, speak to your rabbi about specifics. Thank you for logging on, and log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.